Hello, Bitcoin plebs and bulls. Here we are again for the FU Money, the weekly FU Money podcast, the bigger outlook of the week. And people are joining in already. Hello to you all. I'm just looking at the chat and people are saying hi, hi, hi. Let's see what the heck happened this evening or tonight. This early day Bitcoin crashing like crazy. I guess that leverage traders are getting wrecked all over the world. And actually, I checked that already. And there was close to 1 billion total liquidations in the market today, not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin was around 450 or 500 million dollars liquidated, and all the rest of the coins also liquidated in leverage trading. Totals up almost 1 billion. So we will just go to see that. Yeah, today I'm very tired because I was awake until 7 a.m. In the morning, Portuguese time, of course. Just watching what was happening in the markets and trying to understand. But there are no, of course, explanations for that, except the leveraged market that was asking to be liquidated as usual. And those degenerates continue to leverage Bitcoin and other shitcoins, of course, like crazy. And this is what happens when you do that. But let's see who is, let's take a look at the chat and see what's happening here. So we have, oops, sorry for that. This is behind the name and it will just go away in a few seconds. Let's see who is joining the chat. Today we have a personality here, public figure here, from Heart for Cafe. Hey, crypto dealer, how are you today? And let's see, Bruno Pinto is here too. And of course, Hugo Alexandre Cruz also here as usual. Bruno Vidigal also, and a lot more. I don't remember your face. Luis, I assume it's Luis Lourenço, something like that for the first name. Maybe this is the first time you joined the podcast, so be very, very welcome. I don't know if I saw you before. I can't remember your avatar here. And Vitor Tsai, of course, the first winner of the giveaway on this podcast, is here today. Be very welcome. How are you all, guys? And Javiera is also here today. Thank you for joining. And a lot more people. Let's see. Yeah, I have a Portuguese one. You should know that. There's the FU Money Portugal channel. You can also subscribe to that one. Just go to the homepage of this channel here, the one you are just watching now. On the homepage, there are two more channels: FU Money News, which you can subscribe to, and FU Money Portugal with Portuguese content also. So there's a language for every taste. This one is in English. The FU Money Portugal is in Portuguese. So Rive, please head on to FU Money Portugal, subscribe it, because next Monday we will have another great podcast with Tiago Pratas. He is the guest of next Monday. So join there. I also upload all the analysis I do in Heart for Cafe every Saturday evening at 10 p.m. Portuguese time. So I upload them also to the Portuguese channel. So head on there and subscribe if you like the Portuguese content also. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't sleep too much because I went to bed around 7:30 a.m. and I'm already here. So I slept less than probably 5 hours or 5 or 6 hours. I don't remember. But I'm a bit tired because I was watching the markets last night. So I went to bed really, really late already after sunrise. So that's, it's not easy. The trader's life is not easy, right, guys? Let's see. And Ricardo is here too. Super wrecked, plebs. Yeah, I guess everyone that was in leverage got a bit wrecked. So, hey Mario, this is amazing news. Are we not buyers for the next 20 years? Yes, of course we are. I have a cat hair flying around here. Crazy. Satoshi was here, I bet. That's my cat's name. Okay, so let's see. And ETFs brought insane leverage. Well, yeah, I agree a bit. And Andrea here again. So be very welcome, guys. Let me see if anyone else I missed. Sergio, be very welcome too. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. And of course, Marco is here too. The usual gang is united on this podcast this afternoon. Okay, so let's see what's happening. And yeah, exactly. So Ugo is writing. So first of all, guys, please tell me if everything is okay with the stream. I guess it is, because the data rate going to YouTube is around 9 megabits per second. And so I guess 1080p 60 frames per second is very, very good on your screens right now. No problems like before, like I had in one of the podcasts of the Portuguese channel. So I guess the resolution is very, very good. Just confirm that. So yeah, it is. So I guess I'm getting messages saying that everything looks fine. That's good. Let's see. One more message that just came in here. My voice is still a bit affected by the cold I had last week, so I apologize for that already in advance. Okay, so everything looks good. Thank you. So for those of you watching in 1080p 60 frames per second, if you see any glitches or anything with the videos, always tell me, because I don't know what exactly is getting to YouTube for the live stream. I just get the image directly from the camera that I am using right now. So I never know if the stream is going with poor quality is being uploaded to YouTube with poor quality. Okay, so streaming is good, everything good, nice. And let's see what is happening in the markets. Let me just hide this message here. And let's go to the numbers. As they say in Simply Bitcoin, number time. So here it is. The numbers for today, wow, what a blood on the streets today. Everything is in red. But the fact that we are already around 48,000, it's good, because last night we were navigating around 46,847. So we were able to get already $1,000 above that level. That's not bad. So the numbers for today are, of course, you guys know that these numbers are the numbers corresponding to the last 24 hours or spot traded volume. So right now Bitcoin is around $48,000, which means that in the last 24 hours we had a drop of 14.5% in price, and the volume traded was 30 billions and a half. Wow. So I guess everyone was getting crazy and everyone was trying to sell when this started to go sour. So, or south in some cases. So I guess that everyone tried to sell their positions and try to buy it later at lower levels. But yeah, so it's 14.5 or 14.6% down Bitcoin, with the $30.47 billion traded in the last 24 hours. You guys remember from yesterday's video, this was around, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 13 billion. So it's a huge increase in the volume traded in the last 24 hours. Ethereum number 2 is down 10.45% with a volume traded of $21.32 billion, and the rest, I don't really give an F. So you guys see already that everything is in the red, and this is blood on the streets. This is exactly when you should get into the market with small positions, not financial advice, of course, but this is usually the best opportunity to, and look at that, it's going up like crazy right now. 48,355, so 400 already. So since we started the stream, since I started to show the numbers, we are already up $427 in just a few minutes. So I guess Bitcoin is trying to recover the lost grounds of yesterday. and that's good for those of you that were able to buy around 42,000, which was the absolute bottom of this dip. So lucky you, congratulations if you bought some positions around 42,000. But right now I'm not getting into the market again, so let's see what happens in the next few hours. We might see a retest of those lows, but we will check the charts in just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, these are the numbers. So let's see how the mempool is behaving. I usually don't show this, but I should show it more often so you guys can have an idea of what's happening in transactions. Let's see, I have to refresh the page, I guess. Yeah. So here it is, the mempool is completely empty. We just have 2 blocks waiting and 1 more being built with transactions. So there's not a lot to say here. All the transactions of Bitcoin being sold yesterday were made previously, not right now. So we have 2 blocks waiting, really normal, and 1 being built. If you want to transact Bitcoin right now, you can just wait for the last block and pay 1 sat per byte. And of course, if you compare that to Ethereum, which is completely crazy fees right now, this is amazing. 1 sat per byte, which is equivalent to 7 cents on the dollar to send a Bitcoin transaction. If you want to send it on the second block, which probably is closed already, so you can't do it. But if you want to send it right now on the next block, which is this one here, you would have to pay 74 cents on the dollar to send your transaction. So if you are able to wait at least 5-6 blocks, you could do it for 7 cents, which is 10 times less. So great that the mempool is not so full of transactions to be processed. And it looks very good. Only 11 megabytes of 300 of memory usage for the mempool. So this looks great. And it's actually below the average line here of incoming transactions. So that's nice. Of course, you guys want the numbers. I'm not even going to do on-chain analysis today because I did it yesterday. If you didn't check the last video, check it. It's there, it's from yesterday. It's episode 156, and you can check the on-chain analysis I did at the beginning of the video. So let's take a look at the charts. And of course, guys, if you want to ask me any questions, please do it exactly as Hugo Cruz wrote on the chat. You have to use the @ symbol, the email symbol, and then write the name of the channel, which is F_U, and then YouTube will give you the option to autocomplete the name of the channel, so it's very easy. And then I will see it in orange, so I can see the questions easy in an easy way on the chat. Okay, so let's start. Let's see what's happening in the total market cap, and it looks crazy. So from the 3 trillion all-time high we had on total market cap, which is this area here around the circle, inside this circle, this was 3 trillion mark. For the first time ever in the total market cap chart, we went to 3 trillion. Amazing. And then we corrected, and this looks like an ABC type correction, but I was expecting the ABC to be over around here, the top of this red rectangle, which meant, in my mind, which meant the worst case scenario if we close candles here. But don't forget, this trend line is not the same trend line as in this chart. This trend line is completely different trend line from this one here. This one is just a short-term trend line that was broken, and you guys can see it was broken exactly at the point where the price crossed the trend line to the downside. So right now we have the worst case scenario is going on because we are inside the red rectangle and we are below this trend line for the total market cap line. But we still have to close today's candle, and Bitcoin is going up again. So I guess we will be able to recover some grounds here. I don't know if we will be able to close the daily candle outside of the red rectangle, but for now the price action is exactly in the middle of this worst case scenario rectangle here, and we broke the trend line. So it doesn't look good for the total market cap. Of course, dominance will be next. I will just talk about dominance after this one. Sorry for that. So we crossed, and guess what? We did not even get to, it's really close, but we didn't get to the previous levels of support when we were discussing this correction here of the corrective wave 2 of 5 of the Elliott wave count. And you guys remember that many videos ago, Of course, I was discussing that this would be the first support level for this correction, which in fact happened to go almost to the second one, but it remained around the middle in between the two. But we had two support levels, one around 1.7 trillion and 1.86 trillion. And this corrective wave 2 was supported exactly in the middle of those two support levels. And then we started the wave 3 to the upside. And now the corrective wave 4, which is this one from the all-time high of 3 trillion to the low of the low that we achieved was 1.88. So this was a massive drop on total market cap. I would say that from the top to here, it's almost half of the total market cap. That's crazy. Almost 1.5 trillion. It's not 1.5, but it's almost there. It's like 1.2, around 1.2 trillion. So it's really close to half of the entire market. That's completely crazy. Okay, but for now, we are still ongoing on this daily candle. We still don't know where this is going to close. Bitcoin is recovering some grounds, and also the other shitcoins are going after it, just following the leader. So it's possible that we close today's candle a bit above of the current market cap. Let's see how that goes. But we will have to wait for confirmation, not just for the daily candle, also for the weekly candle on the rest of the coins. But for now, we are still inside the context. Everything remains the same. We are above the support context, which is around 1.74 trillion. So we are still way above it, around 2.23 trillion. So I don't like the scenario. I said it before. This could be the worst case scenario. And if you forget the week that was left behind, this was right on spot. The candle is just in the middle of the red rectangle. So I wasn't very, very far from what I could see as the worst case scenario. But we have to wait to see how this develops. We are below or exactly on top. Sorry, we are exactly on top of the 50% context line, which is this blue line zigzagging here. And the price or total market cap in this case is exactly on top of the 50% context. So it doesn't mean anything really, really bad like the beginning of a bear market, but it's a big correction, which we were indeed asking for to remove all the leverage from the markets. So I like it. I like that all the leverage, the positive side is that all the leverage went away with this correction. We might see some retests, and some people are even saying that we might go see Bitcoin again around $30,000 before we continue the bull cycle. I would not like to see that anymore, because if we break the market structure, then it will be much harder to continue the bull market as we had it before. But let's take a look at the BTC dominance. Right now we are around 40.7%. So we are forming this M shape at the bottom, and we are exactly now on support, inside the support context, which is the gray box you guys see here on the screen. And we are still not at the same lows as we were before, around 37%, but this was a big drop for Bitcoin and the other coins in general too. So let's see how that goes. Right now, this is around 40%. I don't see it going much lower than that unless we have some kind of crazy event here, some black swan event. But right now, yeah, it's possible we revisit the same lows around 30. Sorry, it was not 37, it was 39.5, 39%. But it would not be very good for the markets in general to see Bitcoin dominance below 39% or 37 as here. Here, yeah, exactly 36%, almost 36%. I would not like to see it below that mark, because that means trouble for the markets. So right now I'm betting that we might see a consolidation here at the dominance, going sideways around these levels until the markets get stable again and all the leverage is liquidated in the markets. Let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. So this is the weekly chart, and of course we are again inside the triangle, but look how the triangle held up the price here and we went above it again. So I was saying that we might see a retest of the bottom of the triangle in previous videos, but I was not actually thinking this could be so close to happening. So I gave it, in fact, a 30% chance of happening, 30 to 40% chance. And actually, it happened just a few hours later after the video I published yesterday. So it was really crazy to see this happening here. But in any case, we are still inside the triangle. We did not close any candles below the bottom line of the triangle, which is this green line here. And this is the ascending triangle, which I hope will reverse the price action inside the triangle, not closing any candles below it like we did here. But here we immediately recovered, and this was already a very, very low. It was very extended to the downside, so I was expecting this reversal at any time, and it did happen. But here I would not like to see a close of the weekly candle below the bottom line of the triangle. So let's see how we close the week in just 1 day and 9 hours. So we'll have to wait another 1 day and 9 hours to see how this candle will close. I also don't like the fact that we broke this descending channel to the downside, but I like the fact that the triangle held the price and it went up immediately, so we did not close anything below this line yet. Okay, regarding the moving averages on the weekly chart, we are still with all the moving averages in order. The green first, the 20 period, this is the 50, this is the 100, and this is the 200. All of them are in line. And this might be a 1 to 4 candle correction on the weekly chart for the MRI. This is now a red 3 of 4 possible candles of a correction. So we might see this week close around the levels we are now, and then see some more continuation to the downside next week. But if we keep the price action inside this triangle, that will be a very good sign, and then probably reverse the price action. But I would like to see it reversing at the beginning of next week already. So that would be a very good sign that the bulls were waiting for buying this dip, and we are now again without any leverage. I saw lots of tweets on Twitter of people getting wrecked and saying this is over for me, I'm out, I'm not doing leverage again. I hope many more learned the lesson, and I said so many times, I said it. You should not use leverage in these markets because it's asking to be liquidated. But any case, let's see. So right now, this is a 3 of 4 of a possible 1 to 4 candle correction here on the weekly chart for the MRI. We might see a reversal coming week, or probably probably the latest I would like to see it is the beginning of the week after next one. So if we reverse the price action here on the weekly chart and we start to go up again to retest the top of the triangle, that will be a very, very good indication of continuation of the bull market. But so far you guys can see that we are still inside the triangle. The week left behind was just a week, and if we close this candle inside the triangle, we are still in play for the bull market. So let's see how that goes. And this is, by the way, an A extension of the MRI. This candle is an A extension, so pointing to the upside, also with a lot of strength from the bulls. The RSI is, of course, at the middle of the path, around 47.5%. So we are exactly at the middle, and I hope this pattern that we saw here continues to replicate after this correction, sideways action, and then retest of new all-time highs. So retest of the previous all-time highs and then continuation to the upside. Let's see if this pattern continues to develop exactly the same way as this one here inside this yellow circle, or not really a circle, but close to it. Okay, the MACD is now crossing below, so we are now bearish on the MACD for the weekly chart. So we have the blue line going below the orange, and we have a first red bar going below the 0 line. So the MACD just turned bearish on the weekly chart. The RSI should continue to go sideways now. That would be great. And the third oscillator here is also below 0 right now. So the picture does not look good, but as we still have these signs that we are being held by the 50-period SMA on the weekly chart and inside the triangle, I still have hope that this correction was just very, very useful to liquidate all the leverage, and then we can continue with a healthy and sustainable market. Let's take a look at the daily. I see a question over there. So before I continue with the daily, let's see who is asking. something. Okay, pump on RSI above 70 BTC USD, as you said in previous analysis, is still in play. Yeah, I believe so, but we are right now around 40. I said 40 something on the weekly chart. Let me go back. So we still have ways to go. As you can see here, we are around 48%. I would say 48 just to make a round number. 47.5, 48% on the RSI. Let me just zoom in and give you the most accurate number. Yeah, it's 47.5%. So we still have a long way to go to see this 70% line being broken to the upside again. So I guess, Francisco, that we will have to wait more time. So that means with this correction, everything that we were hoping for the first quarter of 2022 probably will take longer. So instead of having new all-time highs in December or January, probably we will not see them until later on in 2022. Of course, every time we correct like this, every target that we have is delayed exponentially. So now we have to go sideways, confirm this pattern on the RSI, probably a few more weeks into 2022, January already. And then if we start to see the RSI going back up again, probably we will see a retest of the 70% line by the end of January, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how fast Bitcoin can recover from this drop. But I would say that mostly, almost for sure, we will not see a new all-time high in December again. Okay, this year. So probably we will go into January and see the retest of the 70% RSI. And probably I will have to move this circle to the right to the point where I see that we could break the 70% and close a weekly candle above it. And then I could say, okay, this might be the trigger that we were waiting for, the signal we were waiting for, and now probably we will start again rising and retesting the previous all-time high, and who knows, making new all-time highs. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart. Just remove this here, and let's see on the daily chart what I was saying yesterday happened. I did not want it to happen. I in fact would prefer this to be stopped, or at least if we can close this daily candle today above the bottom of the ranging channel here, this downtrend channel, that would be amazing, because this is a daily candle and we still have some time to recover around $49,500. That would be amazing to see this candle close around those levels, which in fact would correspond to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level that we will see in the chart, the last chart of today's video. So I will show you guys that, but keep in mind that the bottom of the trend of this downtrend channel right now, this, of course, at this point in time, the bottom is around $49,700, and if we could close this candle around those levels or above it, that would sound amazing, and probably we could see a reversal of the price action still inside this downtrend channel and see a breakout of the up line of the channel rather sooner than later. That would be very, very good. However, on the daily chart, we are already close to oversold. So the RSI levels are really, really close to be oversold. You guys see here just a hair separates the line of the RSI from the 30% line, which is considered the oversold level. The MACD continues to go really, really low. We are now close to minus 2,000 on the MACD here, and the bars continue to increase. So the MACD on the daily chart also very, very bearish, pointing down, the blue line pointing down because of this big drop of yesterday. But let's see if this redistribution of Bitcoin will end soon. All the liquidations that it's triggered already are enough. Almost 1 billion in the market was liquidated. So that's crazy numbers, guys. But anyway, we are still, so you see this green line here on your screens. This is the bottom of the ascending triangle. We went below it just a bit, and then immediately we went back up. We went below this around 44,600 and 41,600, so $3,000. From the point we crossed the triangle to the downside, we went below it $3,000 and immediately went back up, showing that the bulls were waiting for this dip just to buy it. So let's see if we can hold the price above the bottom of the triangle, above the 200 period SMA on the daily chart, and that would be the cherry on top if we can close the daily candle above $49,700. That will be amazing. And then see the next daily candle probably retesting a bit lower the bottom of the channel and then reversing to the upside. I would like to see that, just like this one here. I would like to see this one exactly like this one. So if you guys see here, I would like to see this candle without, of course, we have the week already, but if we can close this candle exactly like this candle here, touching the bottom of the descending channel and then reversing to the upside to retest again, in a few days we could be retesting again the top of the downtrend channel. So that's what I would like to see as the best scenario possible for Bitcoin right now on the daily chart. But if that's not possible, at least if we can close above the bottom of the triangle and above the 200 period SMA, that will be very, very good indeed already. Also on the daily chart, we are also on a red 3 of a possible 1-to-4 candle correction here until we actually see a reversal, but we didn't have an MRI top, so that will not count as a 1-to-4 candle correction. But usually this comes in 1 of 4 candles, so that's what I'm also waiting to see here. Another red candle probably continuing a bit lower than this if we close around those levels I just mentioned, the 49,700, then a bit lower tomorrow and then reversal. That would be very, very good scenario. But that's it for the daily chart on the MRI strategy, and I'm just going to take a look at the BitMEX funding rate, which looks like crazy. This of course is favoring the bulls, and the more leverage people start to do to the downside or shorts in this case, the more shorts we have in the market, the more this is good to the bullish case. So here we are already going up from this. This is usually how markets capitulate or how markets bottom. It's a really strong down drop on the price action, immediately going up, a bit of consolidation and reverse of the price action. So if we go again inside this descending channel, that will be very, very good. So the BitMEX funding rate was during the big drop of yesterday. No, not yesterday, today, but really, really soon in early on the day. It was around minus 0.2 here, the BitMEX funding rate, and then it has been decreasing a bit towards the 0 line. However, the fact that we have this huge leverage on shorts is helping to recover the market. So this is favoring the bulls right now, and that's one of the reasons also why the market is reversing the price action right now as we speak. And we are now around 48,000 and almost $600. So I started the live stream, we were around 48,000 flat, and we are now around 48,550. So it has been a fight to recover this downtrend action of the past few hours, but we are recovering it now. So on the shorter term, the RSI had went to oversold territory for wow. This was really low, really low. This was around 16%. Amazing. It had been a very long time since I saw the RSI at these levels, 16.2%, and we are still oversold on the 4 hours chart. So for those of you that might think about getting into the market with small positions, I would not go very, very big, but with small positions, this is still the time to get into the market if you want to put something there and try to take advantage of this dip. But this is not financial advice, as I usually say, and it says down there on the ticker also. This is just my opinion that this could be still a good opportunity to buy the dip if you want to put something small positions into the market, because we are still experiencing a lot of volatility right now. So that's it for the 4 hour. Let's take a quick look here. No more questions. I don't see any questions. Hey, Jose Bam, how are you? I enjoy the fact you are here. So let's take a look at the charts for the Pro Indicators framework. So this was the indicators level, minimum level that we could see before a reversal, and actually we saw a lot more to the downside. We touched the support context. Wow. On the daily chart of the Pro Indicators framework, we went directly to the support context. This is amazing how the indicators work. This was what the indicator was expecting as the minimum area for a reversal of the price action, which now we are above it. However, the big week, the big drop went exactly to the support context. I'm just going to zoom in here a bit so you guys can see it better. Look at that. Perfect textbook maneuver here. The indicator said this is the support context, and the price action went directly to that area, immediately reversing to the upside and getting above this red trend line here, which was the resistance level from the all-time high to this resistance level here after wave 2, sorry. Oh, no, this is wave 1, still wave 1 here. This is the complete wave 1, and this was the resistance line that sent us to the corrective wave 2 of 5 that I'm expecting for this move to the upside. So, wow, I'm amazed. I didn't see this chart before the live stream today, and I'm amazed that the indicator is so accurate. So these were the levels of minimum, and where the support would kick in and help to reverse the price action. It immediately happened as soon as we touched the support context, and then this was the reversal of the price action line according to the indicator, the most probable area for a reversal, and we are now above it. So if we start to go up from here, everything went according to the plan, and the indicator was really accurate, on point. So right now, I'm not expecting a really big continuation. We might retest these levels, but I guess the trend line will hold the price according to the indicator also, and we might see a reversal soon, as we had already an ABC correction wave. You guys can see it here. Let me just put it on screen for you guys here. A, B. So this is wave A, this is wave B, and this is wave C. So this is the typical ABC correction, very volatile move after a new all-time high. This happened already in the past. If you guys remember, we also had this when we had the previous all-time high here. Let me just put it on screen also for you guys. And here it is, the all-time high. If I'm not mistaken, it's this one. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Actually, C is here because this was a bit lower, but for sake of this argument, let's put it there. It's almost at the same level as this one, so I don't really care. This is just an example. All-time high, ABC correction, all-time high, ABC correction. So this is very useful to clean the market out of the leverage degenerates that are completely nuts, putting everything they have and don't have, even the liquidity from others, into the market and betting like crazy, like if this is a casino, and it's not. So in fact, I'm glad a lot of liquidations happened, and we reset the market again to have a nice continuation to the upside. Another important thing with the Pro Indicators framework is that we are still inside the upwards trend channel here. Let me just move it to the weekly view. So this is the upwards trend channel, the big one, and we have been navigating. It's really hard to see it. Let me just see if we can see it better this way. So this is the upwards trend channel I was trying to show you on the daily chart, but it looks better here. So this is the point of the start of the parabolic move of the bull market, and this is the previous all-time high of 64,800, almost 65. And then we came back down, retested the bottom of this trending channel, and this is exactly the point. Actually, I plotted it with these two lines and then making a parallel, touching this start of the move, and lo and behold, and when we had the 56% correction, we just touched the bottom of the trending channel here, of the ranging channel, sorry. So looks very good. And we didn't go there, but we were very close in this drop of Bitcoin price action. Also, this trend line, I would not like to see it broken to the downside again, so I hope we don't close any candles below this second red trend line here. And I will go back to the daily chart so you guys can understand what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. This was the first trend line I plotted with from the all-time high to the first point of the B correction wave here. And then you guys see that the first time we reversed the price action to the upside, this was the first resistance, came back down, and then broke it the second time. Now, this second trend line here, the red line, is the second point of resistance, the end of wave 3. Then we went down, almost got up there again, but this was an ABC wave, a smaller wave ABC correction here inside the downtrend pennant. And then second attempt, and we broke it to the upside. So if we use this second trend line as support and we don't close any candles, daily or weekly candles below it, this is a very good sign that we are just retesting this trend line here and these levels, and we might be in for a reversal of the price action again, or we might see some more consolidation as we saw here after the ABC correction, but we actually never went really below those levels. We were actually at the same levels all the time. We tested it 3 times, one here, and one here, and we might see something very, very similar happening right now. We had the big drop, we might go up as we did, and then start to see some sideways consolidation to retest the bottom of this ranging channel going to the upside. So let's see, there are many possibilities right now, but everything is looking good at this moment. We are still in play for a bull market continuation into 2022. Let's see how that goes. Let me just go to the 4-hour chart and see. We of course you know, blew up completely the support context here on the 4-hour, but look at that perfect retest of the second trend line, the red trend line I just showed you guys. This is a perfect retest of that trend line. We went below it, then immediate recovery to the upside, and now reversing the price action and starting to see some green candles just above the red trend line you saw on the previous chart. And we now have a bullish sign here. The blue triangle is a bullish sign, and we might see some continuation to the upside. So looks good. I really like the way this is developing, and this ABC correction developed, liquidating everyone, all those degenerates from the market, and now we can have a healthy market. The spot market is healthier today than it was yesterday. So let's see if we have the strength to continue to the upside after this move here. Okay, let's take a look, and we have another question. Fabio Costa, let's see. Let's see if I find your question here. Yeah. So here it is. Only a monthly correction, around 0.618 correction of last leg up, in my opinion. So I don't know if I really understood what you mean. I guess you were saying this is only a monthly correction around 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of last leg up. Yeah, so yeah, I agree. So I now understand what you mean. I agree, and I will show it on the last chart of today. Of course, always the last chart is the bigger outlook for Bitcoin, so I can show you guys there the Fibonacci retracement levels, and this is exactly at that point. So let's see how that continues developing. Okay, so that's it for the Pro Indicators framework on the daily and the 4-hour chart. There's nothing really more to show here, except that the momentum is at the point of turning back up. The sine wave is about to turn back up. The bears are still in control because of this big drop. Of course, you see the red circles there, and we don't have, actually you have just a few, 2 or 3, I guess, bull here, the bull circles, which correspond to this kind of dots, little green dots on the screen. They are starting to show up again because of the dip that was bought, but the majority of time has been in control of the bears, and that's why we had this big drop, this ABC correction to the downside, which did not cross below the ranging channel, the upwards ranging channel we have here. So to me, it still looks good, but I will show you the bigger trend line in the last chart, and you guys will probably see a bit more of a bearish sign there, but let's discuss it later when I show you the chart. The XY, so the dollar continues to accumulate here, nothing really happening. I guess we just went up just a hair from last time I did the video. So it's not really important or relevant. It continues to be rejected around those levels and trying to get up, but not being able to. So nothing really important to see here. Gold is again trying to get above the 100 period SMA on the weekly chart, but not being able to either. It already retested the top. It was retested, and you guys can see there exactly at the top of this this handle or downwards channel here, the parallel channel, and it just went to the top, retesting it, and then going above it again to retry and get above the 100 period SMA, but not being able to do it so far. There are a lot of convergence here of the moving averages, and this is not easy for gold to you know, reverse the price action. Maybe in 1 week's time, when we start a new week, we start to see a green candle here, if gold is actually able to fight all this resistance coming from the moving averages that are all converging to the same point. But for now, gold is just stopped doing nothing, so I guess not really important or relevant again. The S&P is correcting, as I said yesterday on the video, so also nothing really important. The markets are closed right now. I'm just curious about what's going to happen on the S&P next Monday. So coming Monday, I will be watching this and see what happens. We have a sell signal on the weekly chart. We have red 2 of possible 4 candles of the 1 to 4 candle correction. Despite not having an MRI top, this might turn out to be a 1 to 4 candle correction too. So let's see if the 20 period SMA can hold the price action here, or we will have to see it going lower for possible bigger corrections. But right now this is around 6%, I guess, 5.5% correction. So it's a bit already a big correction for the S&P. 5% in these markets is a lot. We are used to have 20% corrections in Bitcoin, but this is a different kind of market. 5% is already big correction. So I guess a lot of people might also have sold some Bitcoin to compensate for the losses here. So, but I will be watching this on Monday to see how this evolves, and then I will get back to you. Okay, the last chart. Let's see. Yeah, we have been going for 50 minutes. So it's the usual time for the weekly live stream. You guys, if you do want to ask me anything, this is also a Q&A session, so please do it. Just precede your question with the mention of the channel so I can see it in orange, and it makes my life easier. Okay, so this is the big line. I said that the trend line that comes from March 2020. You guys know what this is. This is the big crash at the same time that we had the announcement of the C word that is spreading around the world. So I usually don't say the name because I don't want the channel to be banned. We never know what YouTube is doing. So that's why I refer it to as the C word, or the sickness that is going around the world. So this is the period where we had the big crash, then the trend line. As soon as we started to go up here exponentially, I saw that we could have a touching point for this trend line, and then we started to go parabolic, and this trend line has never been broken. So this is one of the signs I did not want to see. I mentioned this on Hartford Cafe past week, 8 days ago, that if we have to go to the 38.2, we should do it now. We should do it as soon as possible, and then try to recover before we cross this trend line to the downside. So this is what I really don't like, the fact that we crossed the trend line to the downside. However, we are still above it. You guys can see that right now the level of the trend line would be $47,500, and we are now at $48,260. So we are still above this trend line, but I don't want to see a close of this daily candle below this trend line. Okay, this is the trend line. You guys see it has never been broken in the past. We had a touch around here when we had this sideways action after the big crash of 56%, and now we finally have a week below it. But you guys know that for me, this to be validated as broken to the downside, we will have to close the daily or at least the weekly candle below this trend line. I would prefer the weekly candle to serve as a signal and not the daily, but for now we are still above it by a hair. So it's around 47,500 for today, and we are around 48,230. So I want this price action to close above this trend line. And I said that this would be a very nice area to DCA in, but if we don't break the trend line to the downside. So beware, guys. This is not financial advice, but I have to give you all the options. This is a good area to DCA into the market, but if we don't close below the trend line, because that will be a first sign of a warning, a first warning sign that something might be wrong, okay? So let's see how this develops during today, and for the close of the week at midnight of Monday, Portuguese time, adjust for your own time zones if you live in different countries. But I don't want to see a close of the daily candle or the weekly candle below this trend line here. If that happens, this does not become a good area for DCAing into the market again, okay? So let's see. Bitcoin student is not using, actually I saw it because it's the last message on the chat, but he is not using the mention feature of the channel. Just use the @ symbol before the name of the channel so I can see it in orange. I know you guys always keep forgetting that, but please, it makes my life easier in the middle of so many messages here. So let's see what you guys want to ask me, and I will put this one on screen. So mentions, okay, it's not on the mentions, so let's see if I can find it. What is the support zone below 47? So Bitcoin student is asking, what is the support zone below 47.41? So that's easy, man. That's easy. You just look at the chart here. I'm going to just put it like that to make it easier. So the support zone goes from 28 to 30. I would say, sorry, I would not go for 28. I would go for 30 here. Let me do a rectangle. I can do a rectangle here. So this will be around, let's see, yeah, around here and around here. So this will be the next area of support if we break from those levels. And this is the big area of support. And the next one above it is, of course, let me check this one exactly there. So it goes from here a bit lower. Well, I have this, yeah. It's exactly where we were, where the week went. So this is the next area. Let me put it like this. Yeah, exactly. So this is the next area of support. I can just put it here so you guys can see. And this too. So these are the two major areas of support. If we continue to go below the levels that we shouldn't go. So below 47K, this will be, let me check. I will round up the numbers here with the coordinates. I will call it 41,000. And I will call it 245. That would be too much, probably. No, actually, no. So 45,000 here. So this is the first major area of support, and this one I will call it 30 and 35. And there you go, Bitcoin student. These are the two main areas of support for the price action in case we break down from this trend line, which I would not like to see, because then it starts to make me question what is really happening, if we are still in a bull market or not. I'm not saying that this is the signal for the bear market, but it's the first warning. It's a first warning that will probably make me question myself about where we might be going for this market, okay? I'm not getting the orange. Marco Serpa used the mention, but I'm not getting the orange. Oh, because he didn't write the podcast in the end. If you start to write it, guys, you have to choose what YouTube gives you. Oh, of course, this is, of course, for those of you using the computer. If you are using the phone, I guess you will not get the autocomplete option from YouTube to write the entire name of the channel. So if you don't write the podcast word at the end after the exclamation mark, this will not get orange, okay? I know it's really stupid, but I might, let me check here. I might change this again to also support the word Hugo, and which is my name, or for those of you in that are not used to listen to it in Portuguese, Hugo in the British or American accent. So I might use the word again as before. I will see if I can configure it just to make it easier for you guys, and then you can write at Hugo, and then I will see it also in orange. But this will have to be done for the next one, not right now. Okay, so let's see. I answered this one, and let's see if there is another question here. Yes, from Marco. So the best option is wait for the close of the week and then buy more. That's not exactly what I said. I said that this area where we are right now is a very good DCA point if we don't close any candles below the trend line. So I'm going to repeat because sometimes you don't get the full message I want to transmit, okay? If we don't close any weekly or daily candles below this trend line, then this becomes a very good area for DCAing into the market. If we close below the trend line, then it's not a good area to DCA because we might see lower levels and we might see supports below those levels there, okay? So the major support levels are now these ones in red here on the chart. And if we close any weekly or daily candle, I would prefer to the signal to be the weekly candle because this is more relevant. So if we close in 1 day and 8 hours, I guess, yeah, 1 day and 8 hours, if we close this weekly candle above the trend line, that might trigger a reversal of the price action to the upside, and then this would become a very nice place, a very nice area to DCA back into the market if you want to buy more position. However, if we close a weekly candle below this trend line, then I would not say this is a good area to DCA anymore. I would say wait and be patient and let's see where the actual reversal of the price action might be coming in. If this support or this very low support, which no one wants to see anymore, but it might happen, you never know, and then we can still have a bull market after that. But this trend line is the first warning sign, okay? Don't forget that. Yeah, people are writing a lot of orange questions right now, so that's good. Finally, I might change this to support also my name. So let's see if I make it easier on you guys also. Okay, so let's see another one. Do you think it must be a V-shaped recovery to keep the bull run? No, actually not. You didn't have a V-shaped recovery here after the 56% correction. So we don't need V-shape recoveries to continue a bull market. We might have consolidation like we had here, and then continuation to the upside. Don't forget, we had an amazing move, more than doubled the price on Bitcoin from this low, actually this low, around 28,754 to the all-time high around 69,000. So this is more than double the price, and we didn't have a V-shaped recovery. We had consolidation at the bottom, and then completely exhausted bears could not sell anymore. There was nothing else to sell. No one was selling anything else. So this could only go up. So in this case, we didn't have a V-shaped recovery. Well, if you consider only the reversal of the price action here, you could call it a V-shaped recovery, but we had a lot of consolidation before that. So it's not like the V-shaped recovery to happen. It could be if this would reverse here at this point and started immediately to go up. But we had this sideways action for a long time before we actually went up again. So the V-shaped recovery is not a must-have for a continuation of the bull market. It's good if you want to see an immediate reaction of the market to the prices. And of course, we saw that by having this very low point yesterday or today, early today, during the night, and then immediately going back up again. More than half of this drop was recovered already, but it doesn't mean that we are not going to retest those levels and continue to have sideways action around here, around this area, before we continue to go up. I would not like to see it because, as I said, if we close candles below this trend line, it's already the first warning sign that something might be wrong, right, with the bull market. But it doesn't mean that we cannot continue to the upside. It just means that you have to be careful of what you do when you start to go back into the market again. Okay, let's see a few more questions. I have lots of them. So thank you from Bitcoin students. In my opinion, we are in manipulation phase of the market. The correction to 50k is legit, but the rest was manipulation, not natural. Well, I don't see it like that. I don't see it as manipulation. I see it as a capitulation of the leverage market. Because when you start to liquidate the higher positions, that triggers a chain reaction that liquidates everyone to the bottom, to the end of the leverage that was there. So in this case, I don't see it as manipulation. In fact, I don't ever use the word manipulation. I just say that some people have more money than others, and they are able to move the market more easily than I do. So me and you, we are just peanuts here in this market. But you know, it's not manipulation. It's just they have more money than we do, and they can move the market more easily. So why would you call it manipulation? Manipulation, I would say, it's like a conspiracy with different people to orchestrate some move in the market. I don't see it. If a whale sells or buys a lot of money, I don't see it as manipulation. But it's just the market. It's the free market. You know, they have more money than I do or you do, so it's easier for them. But this big wick that was left behind, this is just because of that chain reaction of liquidations that we saw in the market. So the 51, actually the 51 to 49 is legit, because 49 is exactly, as you can see here, I'm just going to full screen again. The 49,000 is exactly the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level. So actually to 49,000, this is still legit. And we went below it to 42. So it's a difference of $7,000, which corresponds to the chain reaction of liquidations in the market. I don't see it as manipulation, but yeah, I fully understand your point. I understand that you were talking about these Fibonacci levels around 49,000, and anything below that would sound like crazy, but that's what happens when you have chain reaction liquidations and then immediate recovery to the upside. So let's see any more questions. We have another one here. Do you think this dump could have been caused by those more or less 1000 BTC from the Badger DAO hack? I don't know what. Oh, you mean the Celsius, the one that I spoke about on Telegram on those groups 1 or 2 days ago, the Celsius hack? I don't know. I guess not. I guess not. 1000 BTC is not enough to move the market like this. Actually, I was watching the Bitcoin Explorer, my own local Bitcoin Explorer, and I saw a lot of blocks with huge amounts of Bitcoin, like 70,000 Bitcoin. Then the next one was 80,000 Bitcoin. Then the next one was 65,000 Bitcoin. And this was happening the day before this drop started to occur. So I like to see the Bitcoin Explorer and see how much Bitcoin is being transacted. And of course, I saw those huge amounts of Bitcoin, like many blocks, one after the other, containing, you know, huge amounts of Bitcoin being transacted, and I thought something is about to happen here. Of course, I was not expecting this kind of move, but we never expect it because everyone wants the market to go up. But I saw a lot of blocks being processed with huge amounts of Bitcoin there, and something was feeling strange. But this was 24 hours before the move, so I actually did not foresee this happening today. But I don't guess 1,000 Bitcoins is enough to move this market like this. No, 1,000 Bitcoins is not enough. You have to move like 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 Bitcoins to make something like that happen in just a few seconds. I mean, if you, I'm saying from the point of view that one person could do that, so you would have to move huge amounts of Bitcoin. But I guess more than one person moved this market like this, not just one. And let's see the close tomorrow, but betting on a quick recovery to 57, 59K level. Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see the price action moving away from the trend line. That would be a very, very good indication that we might see a V-shaped recovery in this case and not consolidation. Because if we break the trend line to the downside, we might see a lot of consolidation going around this area, being supported by this red rectangle here. Actually, they should be green because this is support. So let me just change the colors here to green and oh yeah, the background too. So yeah, like that. So this is actually support, so I will make it green as usual, as I had before I started to use the Fibonacci retracement levels on this chart. And okay, so these are the support levels. I believe this is the strongest one. This is really strong. This is the one that made us go back up after the 28.8K that was achieved this around here, around July, and also in June. And this one might not be as strong, but it's already support because we had already a lot of support here. This was resistance here, 2 points of resistance. Then it was broken to the upside. Then it became support here and here. Then it was broken. Then it became resistance again. If you guys remember, this was resistance here. Then it was broken to the upside. Again, found support and continuation. So this one, the second level here, is also very important as support, although it's not as strong as this one here. So I continue to believe that we are not going to see 20K Bitcoin again, at least in the short term, guys, as many were saying before all this happened. Why is this like that? Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is right. I'm just going to save that and keep this as the bigger outlook chart. So okay, let's see a few more questions. Oh, so many questions there. Okay, the week to 41K was someone that sold 1,500 BTC at once on Binance. 1,500 BTC does not make that. You need more. You need much more to do that. This is a chain reaction of liquidations and people trying to continue to leverage the positions and putting more collateral into the position and then being liquidated. 1,500 BTC is not enough. It might have been on Binance, but to completely move the entire market and all exchanges, you need more than that. I'd say someone's liquidity test failed. Yeah, Magis, yeah. I guess so. Someone was testing the liquidity of the market. Willy Woo was talking about order book spoofing on Binance order book also. Yeah, well, Binance, as I said before, I never really trusted Binance 100% like I trust Coinbase or Kraken, in the sense that they are, you know, very legit and run by honest people and honest workers. I'm not saying the other ones are dishonest. I'm saying that I never really trusted CZ 100%. Something is weird about that guy I don't really like. I don't know. It's a feeling I have. The fact that Binance never agreed to comply with any regulations or anything like that, and just now, because they are being shut down in many countries, they are starting to do it because they were forced to. Something is weird there. I don't know what. I don't want to start any rumors or anything like that. Man, some time ago when they started to close, deposits on euros and then withdrawals on euros to banks, and I saw that happening, I immediately transferred all my coins out of Binance, and I feel safer, let's say. I feel safer not having any assets or any part of my net value on Binance right now. Let's call it Eng. What's that, man? It's not my I don't know what you mean by that. Eng PC. Hey Goku, guys, check Goku and Faishko on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel. It's very funny. If you speak Portuguese, of course. It's a very funny one, and they make comedy like no one does. So don't forget to subscribe to Goku and Faishko on YouTube. And let's see, that will make you bearish, and for how many days that value? What will make me bearish? I never said I would become bearish. I said that if we close candles, weekly candles mostly, I would think that the more relevant signal would come from a weekly candle being closed below this trend line. I didn't say I would become bearish. I said that this is one of the first warning signs that something might be wrong, but we would have to wait and see the support levels below how they work, okay? For now, we had this big week coming down, and this was stopped by the first level of support. But I would like to see the candle, the weekly or the daily, both of them even, close above the trend line and then reverse to the upside. It doesn't mean that I will become bearish below the trend line if we close the candles there. It means that I will have to reevaluate what's happening in the market, because it might be a warning sign for something bigger that might be coming later, okay? For now, I still believe we are still in a bull market. The price action is still above the trend line. Everything is still good. I never said that this is a bear market already. And for sure, I will not say it if we close the candles below the trend line, but I will say that this is a warning sign, and we should start to focus on that to see what's happening, okay? And then later, depending on the behavior of the market, of course, and if these supports will hold the price action, we might decide to say, okay, we are in for a long-term bear move, not a bear market, but like something like a bear move, because you can only say this was a bear market like 1 year after a top, because there are no 2 months or 3 months bear markets. That's something that only Benjamin Cohen says and no one else. Sorry. But what he calls the short-term bear market. There are no short-term bear markets. The bear market is something that lasts for 1-2 years probably. So you need at least 1 year after a top of continuously going down to say this is a bear market. So in this case, we might be in for some short-term, medium-term bear, not bear, but yeah, bear, let's call it bear. Not bear market, but something of a short-term bear price action, something like that. Sideways action, something, what you want to call it. You know, it's not a bear market. It's only a bear market if we have 1 year of continuously going down and trying to consolidate at lower levels, and then starting to recover. Then you can say, okay, this was a bear market. This is not the trigger of the bear market. This is the trigger of a first warning sign that you should reevaluate your positions, see what's going on in the markets. Can you explain how? I guess you mean about the BitMEX funding rate showing that there's a lot of shorts and then the market starts to go up. Yeah, that's mostly what happens when the market has a lot of shorts. You know, people with a lot of money, or the ones that provide liquidity for the funding of those shorts, start to buy, so that the guys to whom they lent the money get liquidated and they get the money. So it's not really difficult to understand. So every time you see longs or shorts going really above the zero line, or below, in case of the shorts, below the zero line, of course that helps the spot market inversely. So that means that the guys that provide liquidity to the funding of those leveraged positions, of course they want the guys to be liquidated because they get the money. So they of course bet against the market. And guess who those guys are? The guys providing liquidity. Those guys are whales. They have lots of money, they have lots of liquidity in the exchanges, and they can of course help to inversely move the market. So that's why everyone that has been watching the BitMEX funding rate knows that every time there's a lot of shorts, the spot market starts to go up, and every time there's a lot of longs, the spot market starts to go down. So it's an inverse correlation between the leveraged market and the spot market. I hope I helped you there. And let's see. Yes, above the white trend line, it will be a good sign. Yep. So it's actually no sign at all. So if we close the candles above the trend line, it's no sign at all. Everything remains the same. If we close the candles below the trend line, then we have a warning signal. Is the cup and handle you shared a few weeks ago still an interesting information, and the 74K point? Good question. I've been asking myself that. So some people replotted their cup and handle. That's a good question. Some people replotted their cup and handle to look something like this. Let's see if I can do it now. Something like that. Sorry, here. And then here. And then the handle would be something like, let's see if I can do it properly. And then move it a bit here. Something like that. So some people starting to reshape the cup and handle, and actually say that the cup and handle is not from this point, like mine, this point to this point, and then the handle here, but the actual cup and handle is this big one, and the handle is what's happening right now, right? So some people is reshaping their cup and handles, or some people are reshaping their cup and handle to something like that. So I still have to reevaluate which one is actually correct. So I was thinking about this yesterday, but I didn't have the time to actually see, because this handle looks a bit weird, right? Or then you could move this here, and this would not be a perfect cup, because this one would be higher. This point would be higher than this one, just a bit. It's just a bit, but anyway, it would be higher. And then this could be, you guys see here the handle, but some people continue to reshape their cup and handles in this way, but I will have to look at it in a different, from a different perspective, and probably analyze this better. I don't like this area. You see, from the bottom going up and then down. I don't really like that. It's not so perfect as this one was here. But yeah, let's see what happens. I will save this for later study and see if this is still valid or not. In the case this is valid and mine was invalidated, then the target will be much higher than 74k. So I will have to reevaluate this later after the pod, and I will come back to you in a different video about this as soon as I have something to say about the cup and handle, because right now I don't know if mine is invalidated by this one or if my cup and handle is still a valid one after this corrective wave 4 that we are having right now before the wave 5 kicks in. So let's see. And wow, I continue to have a lot of questions. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Aren't you being too optimistic? If the S&P opens on Monday and loses the last bottom, is it clearly bear market? I would not say that. As I explained before, I just gave a few minutes explanation that in order for you to have a confirmation of a bear market, you have at least to be in the bear market already for 6 months or more. So you cannot say that. You can actually, the only thing you can say is that this might be the start of a bear market, but the only thing that will confirm a bear market is the bear market itself. So there is no other confirmation. Technical confirmation, of course. The only technical confirmation that you can have related to a bear market is that we might be starting one, but the confirmation itself will come many months later. So there's no actually pre-confirmation of a bear market. If that existed, everyone would be a millionaire, because before the bear market, everyone would see that signal and sell everything they have. So it's very easy to say it after you saw the bear market of 2018 and 19. It's very easy to say it in January 2019 that actually that happened, because you have the bear market on the charts to say, okay, this was a bear market. But before you had the bear market, in January 2018, you never guessed that we would start a bear market that would last for 2 years or 3 almost. So how leverage works inverse on the spot? I guess I already answered that. If a bear market is confirmed, do you believe that the top of 2017 will be the end of the fall? The really hard. I would not. Wow, that's a hard question. No one knows the future, right? First answer. Second answer, I'm not expecting this this market to continue to go down from here. And third one, I already explained that there is no confirmation of a bear market except the bear market itself. After 6 months to a year of bear market, you can say, okay, this is a bear market. So I'm not expecting a revisit of the 20k level soon. Also because we have these levels here and this level here, which is really strong. So I'm not expecting this to go lower than this. This would be for the minimum again for me. We could see a ranging channel here before. Actually, I saw something which was really interesting. Let me just plot it for you guys. I'm going to plot a lot of stuff in this chart now. So probably I could, no, I will just, just put it like that. And like that, and like that, and like that. And the fib retracement. Okay. So let's clean the chart a bit. And let's do it like this, which looks easier. And I saw something today, something like this. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The channel is here. Not easy to plot stuff like that. I have to turn off the magnet. Okay. Something like this. And something like that. Oops. It's not easy, guys. Okay, and now I can put it a bit lower like this. So I saw an analysis like this, and then let me copy paste that and move it here. I saw something like this. Okay. And that this actually it's not a bad idea. And then, oops, sorry. I will have to make it like this. And then the guy said that we would probably be in for something like that also around here. Okay, so it's not a bad idea at all that this is a ranging channel, horizontal ranging channel, and this was an horizontal ranging channel. And then as soon as we see a breakout of this channel, we might be in for another big outlook trend channel going up again, which would take us to those levels that we have been mentioning before. And let me just move this a bit lower because it seems too extended to the upside. Oops, I can't do that. Okay, so if I do that, it's crazy. But we might be on the verge of seeing something like this ranging channel, so accumulation, sideways accumulation for a long time, and then parabolic move to another consolidation for a long time, which might bring us down again to the 30K level before we go actually up. But this would be already around probably November next year, something like that. So, and this analysis was something like, where is this? Something like coming back down from here to here, and then going like that, correction, resistance here, finally breaking out something like that. Okay, so I saw this analysis recently, and we might be in for some sideways action. So this is actually sideways action. This complete area could be sideways action before we actually go and break this to the upside. But this would be already, look, this is May 2022, and the all-time high could actually come around, let's say around 200, something like that in November. Okay, so this is what I actually saw recently. So let me just remove this circle because this one is wrong. I will just plot it again and make it something like that. Okay, so what would you guys say about this? If this happens, then this is just sideways action, guys. And then we should not be worried unless we break the 30K to the downside. So in that case, I would not, and this was of course asked because of the 20K level, if this would be the top and we could revisit 20K. I would be really worried if we go below 29,000. Okay, if we go below 29,000, then it means that this is not also working like this, and we probably would be in for some really big problems if we go below 29. 29 for me, it's the last hill, of course, as always, because this was the bottom here. Okay, so let's see what happens. But this is also a possibility which is really interesting one. Okay, sideways action, which is a really long time. This is like from March 2019 to October 2020. So this is more than 1.5 years, or about 1.5 years of consolidation. And then we could be in for another 1.5 years of consolidation if we go back to the 30K level and then start to go up after breaking out of this ranging channel here. So that's another possibility which I find possible for now, but we will have to confirm it. If we go back to 30 and reverse the price action, then this could be confirmed. But I don't see it going back to 20k soon unless a really bad thing happens, okay? So let's see. Let's see more questions before we should start to wrap up. It's 1 hour and a half already. Podcast engineered price action. Yeah, I just don't know what you... Oh, engineering. Okay, engineered. Okay, that's what ENG stands for. Now I get it. Yeah. Sorry, my question was incorrectly wrote. What is the value that could make you bearish, or you will never be bearish? I will be bearish, of course. For example, in this case, I would be really bearish if we break the 30k to the downside. Okay, if you want to put it like that, let me hide this so I can use the screen actually. Auto. And okay, if you want to put it like that, I could say that if we break 39,000, which is this level here, let me zoom in so you guys can see it better. If we break this level and start to go to the downside, then I would be worried, kind of bearish, okay? So if we continue to go down and we actually break the support, let me put the support back into, so it's easier to demonstrate what I want to say. Okay, so let me just delete this. I don't need the circles. So this is one of the possibilities, but I don't really care about it now. Parallel channel. So so these are the levels. Okay, let's go back to the levels. So I would start to be worried if the price action goes in between those two green rectangles. Okay. So if we break this rectangle to the downside, I would start to be worried. That means going below this previous swing low here, exactly where I have the little white hand. And this is around what level? So just for you guys to know, let me see. The low here is 42. Yeah, probably that. No, it's actually lower. Around 39,000. So if we go below 39,000, then I will start to be worried. Probably I will start to be a bit bearish, not completely bearish, because we still have the last hill, which is this rectangle here, but I will start to be a bit bearish then. Okay, let's see who else has any questions. We have to wrap up, guys. Sorry. ETC BTC is up. Are you holding your ETH bag, or better be in BTC only? I'm still holding my ETH bag, waiting for the 0.1 level, and then I will start to move it into BTC. If the 15th Fed prolonged inflation, how do you see the situation? Well, if the inflation starts to go higher, which actually it is already around 10-15%, the real inflation, probably higher than that, but I would say 10 to 15% is the real inflation rate. It's not the 6.2. So if I continue to see the inflation going higher and still more dollars being printed, of course, this will have to all implode. I just don't know what kind of effects would have on Bitcoin. Of course, from a technical perspective, this would be good for Bitcoin because the more inflation, the higher the price. However, if the markets completely implode, I don't know if that has a negative effect on Bitcoin or not. So it's not an easy question. It's not an easy answer, I mean, to that question. Let's see. Started the roll, they only need a tip to bucket the liquidation engine, it does the rest. Yeah. Can you explain how leverage works in verse on this again? Man, am I repeating the questions by some chance? No. What, guys? Are you just writing? Oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah, this was wrong. So the software just tricked me. Okay, there are a lot of windows open with hit 51 rip for an short level calling hunting. Yep, no question there. Podcast historically the best place to buy BTC around 200 weekly moving average, now sitting around 2k. Best buy if it happens. 2k, in my opinion. What 2k, man? The 200 weekly moving average. The 200, let's see. The 200 is now sitting at 18,000. So maybe you wanted to write 20k. Yeah, I understand. So you forgot the zero there or just didn't press it correctly. Okay. Yeah, the 200 moving average is around 20k. So that would be the very... Man, if we went to 20k again, I guess I would sell everything I own and try to buy the most Bitcoin possible, the most number of Bitcoins possible. But I don't see it happening in the short term or even medium term. I don't see that happening. Only with the Black Swan event that will happen. Okay, so... Yeah, so yeah, 21, actually 20, closer to 20. And just eat a ball of friend mosquitoes instead of caught fish and all is well. Yeah, exactly. They want us to all to start eating bugs and... So I guess everything is okay. Even the inflation could be 50% because as long as we eat bugs and we still have money to buy food, everything is okay in their mind. It's not okay in my mind, but it will be okay in their mind. So here it is, guys. That's it. I don't have any more questions. Sorry, I was looking at the different chat on my software, my graphic software, so I missed it. I was tricked by it. I thought these were questions, but no, actually we don't have any more mentions. So, and we have already a 1 hour 45 minute stream. So it was a really nice stream today. I really enjoy being with you guys, and I hope I answered all the questions you have put in the chat. Don't forget, later on around 10 p.m. Portuguese time, I will be doing the same kind of analysis. It's not always the same. I will try to follow the same lines I did here, but I will be on the Hard for Café podcast at 10 p.m. Portuguese time. But this time, this will be in Portuguese, so it's for the ones of you there that speak Portuguese that you can watch me later on analyzing again the charts of Bitcoin for the weekly time frame or for the past week. So don't forget that. Tune in for the Hartford Cafe on YouTube at 10 p.m. Portuguese time. Okay. Hey guys, so now you woke up. You all woke up now that I said that we have to start wrapping up. Let's not make it 2 hours podcast. It's okay like this. I will have to even close all the charts now and see them again. But that's it. So this is a bear market just for you guys because of the question of the bear market. So tell me, where at this point would you know this is a bear market? You don't. The only thing you know is that here, okay, when the price touched this trend line here and then it crashed a lot, then you could say, okay, this is finally a bear market. And if you notice, there's a huge descending triangle here, which actually ended up being this big drop to the downside. So I guess until we were around July, no, more than that, when we started to just go sideways here, I would say that before October 2018, no one knew this was a bear market. Everyone thought that we would break this previous swing high, previous swing high, previous swing high. Of course, it's really easy to look at the chart around here or around here and say this was a bear market. But there is no trigger. There is no... It's not a confirmation, you know? There are some signs or some signals that you can actually see happening, but you never know that this will be a bear market unless you are in it already for a few months. So this helps understand my answer a bit previously. or a bit before, sorry. See you later at the Hard Fork Cafe. Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. Don't forget the Hard Fork Cafe tonight. And for those of you, of course, that speak Portuguese, because that's a Portuguese language channel. Thank you, and thanks to you all. See you later, Pedro. Hey, Pedro, you were here. Nice to see you, and see you later on the Hard Fork Cafe. Yep, I confirmed already with those guys there that I will be there tonight, and that's it, guys. Okay. So let me just go back and... Oh, before I go, before I forget, I always forget this. Let me just put on the screen, of course, and I will just close the chart for now. So these are the links you should follow if you want to help the channel. The first one on top is my personal Twitter account. I tweet almost every hour. There's something I'm tweeting about Bitcoin and the markets in general. The second one in the middle is the Twitter account of this podcast, where I announce all the videos, live or recorded, that I will put online. And the third and last one is, of course, one of the most important ones, the Telegram group that you should join. We have already more than 630 people discussing Bitcoin and the markets in general, 24 hours a day. If you missed it on screen right now, don't worry, you can always go to the video notes, where you can also leave some comments and check these links out, where you can join the Twitter accounts or follow the Twitter accounts and join the Telegram group. So don't worry if you missed it right now or you didn't have time to write it. Just go to the video notes below. They are there. Just click on the links. It's even easier. If you click on the links, it will immediately take you there, and you can follow the Twitter accounts or join the Telegram group. Also, if you enjoyed the podcast today, please leave me a comment. People are so lazy. It's free, guys. It's free to gently touch the like button and leave a comment on the podcast. So don't forget to do that. I would love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are on the markets. Also, let me check here. Nothing else to show. So as usual, let me say thank you all for joining today's podcast. And of course, today we had really a lot of people, and people are already starting to flee away from the podcast, but they will lose the words of wisdom as usual, as I like to call them.
All right, let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Exactly, guys. Let's roll, and let's be really careful out there in the markets. Be careful with those liquidations. Don't use leverage if you are not really experienced in the markets. So be careful. Also, gently touch the like button. Leave me a comment below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. All this is free. You don't have to pay for nothing. So just help the channel and do it so that we can grow the community and show it to more people using the YouTube algorithm. Okay. The you know, those bots from YouTube that spread the news and the channels and tell you that you should watch this. So that's what it's for. Okay, so it's free. Please do it and help support the channel, and I will see you again on the next one, probably on Monday, for the interweek video, the first interweek video of the coming week. Okay, so guys, that's it. I will see you all. Let's see where this is. Okay, there, it's okay. I will see you all again on Monday. Don't forget, tonight, only for the Portuguese speaking ones. Okay, bye-bye, and see you again later.